Yeah, this weather really sucks. Can't record outside today. Look at it. And there's that thunder. Yep. That thunder's still going. Yeah, this weather sucks. Cannot record outside today. Hello and welcome to a new video. Bit of a different video today because the weather has been so bad here recently. I haven't been able to go out and film what I had planned. So today's video is going to be the first in a short series that's going to be a route analysis of where I traveled in Traveling Taiwan Series 1. So I'm going to give you a little bit more insight into where I went and what I saw, and give you a better view of the map of where I was. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so this is day one of traveling Taiwan. The starting point was Newman Beach, so I'm zooming into here. And from there, I was going to try and stick to the coast all the way down. But first I had to go a little bit further south. So left Newman Beach, went down to this road, got close to the river, and then I had to kind of double back and go across this bridge. This bridge took me all the way into Nanliao, went as close as I could to the coast again, and then continued south through Nanliao, just sticking to the coast as much as I could, until I got to a point where I had to turn off and go closer to this main road, and then I made my first stop at this Family Mart. And I could have continued on the main road, but because it was going to be away from the coast, I decided to take this other road instead, which took me to another bridge near the airbase in Hsinchu, and then I followed the river under the big road. Then I just started heading south again on this road that is right next to the coast, and I just continued south, kept going. I was going to go to Tofen, Junan, so I was just heading in that general direction, and then I had to go on the main road here, but then I left it. And then I headed into Junan, or Tofen. It's like Junan and Tofen are basically in the same place. So this is like Junan train station here. I knew the big red statue was near there because I'd seen it on the train before. So I saw it and I tried to make my way to it. So I went under the train tracks, and then I went over to Northern Miaoli Art Center that I showed you in the video, and then I didn't know where the red statue was, and it turns out that just down this road and just here, that's where the red statue was. But I did go back at a later time to get some footage of it. After that I left and I was going to head back over toward the coast, all the way back through Junan. And then I got to the coast for lunch at Super Duper. After Super Duper I was just continuing south, just heading as quickly as I could to Miaoli. So then I had to go on the main road to cross the bridge. Across the bridge I was getting away from the coast a little bit, so then when I could turn off I turned off, and then I went over here, then up to here, and that's where I stopped to look down the coast, and that's where I saw a lot of wind turbines. So after that I just went back onto this road next to the coast, next to the sea, just following it all the way down and down here to this area. This is where I was very close to the big wind turbine, so that's where I stopped and I looked across the river, and then I had to go further along the riverside, then onto the main road again to cross the bridge. And then here I took a wrong turn heading toward Miaoli on this road, and then I realized, oh wait, I still have places I want to go. So I turned around and then went back onto the main road. So I was following it, then I turned off when I could, headed back over near the coast, and then I was looking for a tunnel which is around here somewhere. I didn't know exactly where it was, and I ended up going up the hill, then I turned around and went back down the hill, back on the road next to the train tracks, just following it all the way down, cut across closer to the sea, and then back onto the main road to cross the bridge. And once I got down to here, I was going to start heading inland toward Miaoli. So I started heading in, but I had one stop. It was about evening at this time. So I got to Shihu Old Street. By the time I got there, it was a bit too late and everything was closed. So I was heading towards Miaoli city. I was going through the mountains, some very narrow, steep roads up the hills and through the forests here. And eventually I made my way to Miaoli, which is a very small town actually in Taiwan, and got to the hotel, and that was my first day of traveling Taiwan. Let's go on to day 2. So day 2 was from Miaoli to Taichung, and it was a very long one. So I was in Miaoli, and I lived in Miaoli before, so I decided to go around. That's why the map is like this all over the place. But as you know, I did show you the temple. So the temple is here. So that was the first temple I showed you. Then I was going about Miaoli trying to find a few things to see what I could remember. And then once I left Miaoli, back through the mountains. And if you watched the episode, you know that my bike fell over and I bent the back brake handle. It was around about here, that's where that happened. So I had to find a place to fix it, but before that I had to get to my next stop. So headed back over toward the coast where I left the day before, and then I got to here. So I was looking for this temple, but I couldn't quite find it. What actually happened was I came in behind the temple and then I couldn't find a way through here. So I went back to this car park and then drove through here to here. So this is not right. I did not go past this temple. Although it was the one I was looking for, I mixed it up and I just ended up looking at this temple here. So that was the second temple. Continued down, sticking to the coast as much as I could. And this is where I stopped for Shimpu Seawall. And then I continued on, back on, not quite the main road. I think this is the main road here. But I think this is the main road that I could actually go on. And I just followed it for a long time, just heading south to my next stop. And I took a quick pit stop at 7-Eleven for a little while. Then I left, went to an SYM shop, got the back brake handle fixed, and then I continued on, went back up to the coast, following it round, and that is when I eventually got to Songbo. And Songbo is where I took video and photos of this turbine. I was standing around about here when I was taking the photos and video, and continued on, just continuing south, trying to get to Taichung as quickly as I could. because I've been held up having to get my back brake fixed. Then I headed inland to the main road because I had to cross this big river, and just as soon as I could getting off that road, and then I had to actually rejoin it later anyway, and then crossing another bridge, but I didn't take the main bridge. I got off it earlier and then took this smaller bridge just to be closer to the coast. So going around, just continuing south, every now and then having to join onto the main road to cross rivers as soon as I could, getting off them and going back over to the coast and just following the coast. Here I made a little detour. So on the map here you can see that here's the bridge, but when I got to here and I was going to turn right, this bridge was inaccessible. I couldn't get on it. They were doing something to the bridge, I don't know what, so I had to find another way around to the other side of the bridge. So I took this big detour and then got to the wavy bridge and Galme Turbine Avenue. So that was when I followed around and then just continued south. This is the 7-Eleven I stopped at when I saw the big mysterious building, which is this building here. Then I continued south, just always trying to get closer to the coast when I could. I went to this big industrial complex. Then I eventually made my way out of it and I stopped here, and that's where I saw the sunset and the rainbow. It was a very nice sunset actually. And then I continued on down the road, just following the river, making my way further into Taichung. But before I got there it was very dark and I was going through these roads, and here it told me to make a sharp right and a sharp left turn, and it took me onto some country roads. There was no street lights, it was just complete darkness. So going through this dark area, and as I was approaching I could see the lights of Taichung city getting bigger and bigger. This part looked very scary, but thankfully I didn't have to go onto any of this here, so I just continued on, most direct route to my hotel, and yeah, right into Taichung city. It's a massive city, and stopping at the hotel, and I got a very nice room. If you watched the video, this is where I was walking. I walked over to this izakaya to get food that night. I'm going to finish here. This is going to take me a few videos, so I'm going to do the next few days in the next video, and I will maybe take 4 or 5 videos to get through all the days. So that was my first 2 days of traveling Taiwan. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please leave me a like and leave me a comment. I read all the comments, so if you want to send me a message, please just leave a comment and I will see it. I will definitely read it. And if you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing. I do a lot of Taiwan videos. I travel to different places in Taiwan. I've got a lot of old Taiwan videos. And if you want to see more, you can click up here and you can watch the playlist for Traveling Taiwan Series 1. Or you can click here to watch my last video, and click over here to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.